Code white, 2 southeast. Code white, 2 southeast.
If you want to grow your own produce, do not insert it in your canal.
Man.
Please seek a professional gardener or a landscaper. But you think about sticking it in your...
How did she keep it there for 3 weeks? They do that, actually. Praying mantis, after they have... The female rips the head off. Blah, but some people in there would just fall in love within, like, a week, and I'm like...
Oh, yeah. There was a whole wedding when I was there. The first time.
Do tell.
Alright, we want to find her too. Yeah, like, how does she know she was getting railed by the sun rays? Like, obviously it was pretty, that sounds pretty dramatic.
That is... Like, what did she feel? Kaylee's dying. Hi guys, welcome back to Grippy Sock Talk. Today I have Tori.
Hi.
And I have Kaylee.
Hi.
And I'm going to be reading some more funny Psych Ward Reddit stories. And I think for the 5th episode I have some of the funniest, craziest story by far. So we're going to get into it right now. Alright. So it says... So one time, Sarah gets admitted to the resident nurse. Again, nauseous but also complaining of intense abdominal pains. I'm the psychiatric tech on hand. She sits on the bed in her gown, legs sitting naturally. Slightly apart, an extremely pungent odor fills the room. Myself and the nurse gag. I've smelt some things, but this was horrid. I once smelt an old man's diarrhea that he had for some reason put into the water container of his coffee machine and attempted to produce steam with it, but this was worse. Imagine that. She was becoming agitated by our reaction, so the RN, registered nurse, gave her a sedative. We lifted her gown and could see a small white stalk thing like coming from her cavity. It resembled a bean sprout. All this while gagging constantly, the nurse inserted the speculum to inspect, and inside was a potato. It had begun germinating inside her, the roots growing out of it. We removed the potato carefully, and what followed was a stream of pus, blood, and maggots that followed out her. I threw up a lot, and I went outside immediately. Now, we later determined that this potato has been with her for 3 weeks and assume it has been placed in her roughly that long ago.
What? What the?
I think I'm gonna need a minute.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Like,
You wrong.
I need a minute to, like, fully comprehend. Like,
This was
I'm
a
sorry
lot.
about, like, yeah, that was a lot to take.
And I know, like, groceries are expensive, but people want to grow their own. This is
No.
the way to grow. Like, by the way, guys, I'm sick and I'm gonna be coughing, especially when laughing. I do apologize. If you want to grow your own produce, do not insert it in your canal.
Man.
Please seek a professional gardener or a landscaper.
Stop it. Get some help.
Right in your local landscaper.
Professional, but you think about sticking it in your...
How did she keep it there for 3 weeks?
I'm pretty sure that was an episode of 1,000 Ways to Die, but with the carrot.
Right.
Like,
It has...
I'm gonna have to see the medical records. I'm gonna have to see the medical records.
I wish, like, and that's something we always say in each of our videos. We're like, we want more information. Like, we want, like, can you imagine, like, that tech was like, she puked. And I think I would too, honestly. Like,
I wanted to puke while you were reading it. Like,
If anything goes viral, let it be that one. And we need to find her. I want to be her friend. 'Cause I need like, we can find her.
We have to. If this is you, comment. We need the story.
we have a group.
My
We have a group for you.
My DMs are open. We don't even got to start with the potato, okay? Like, you can tell me a year from now.
We're just gonna become best friends right away. But I mean, like, she was complaining of the pain, and I'm like, how do you not think? Oh, it's probably the potato I shoved up there 3 weeks ago. Did she not smell it herself?
How did the potato get up there? Like, did she insert it or did someone else insert it? Like,
You're asking the important questions here. Like, we
where was
need to know.
she?
Oh my god. So I like to like.
That's like those people who don't know they're pregnant for 9 months. Like, how do you not know?
They go in the toilet. They're like thinking they're taking the biggest shit of their life, but then a baby pops out, and you're like, how did you not know?
I
Oh
know a
my
girl
God.
who had, like, yeah.
Like, I don't comprehend it. But yeah, I like to typically, like, after a story, be like, oh, I can relate to this, but I cannot. Like, there's, I have stories, but there's nothing
Yeah,
that...
my pH level's off sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, our pH level gets off, but I mean, not
Not vodka that.
sprouting a potato out. And I think this is such a perfect story because we're like 3 girls and I've been having men on my channel a lot more. So I was like, okay, I have to read this one. Starting off with a banger here. I'm sure you're all wondering, like, what else does she have? After reading this one, we can't top it. Okay, I'm gonna go to the second story I have. All right, so the next story says, craziest. You see, do you mean the people or what happened? They were responding to like a Reddit post. How about this? Lady asked me to give her the newspaper I was reading and I said no. Somehow this turned into her asking me for. I said no to that too. She was persistent until I said, maybe ask me later, you know, just to get her off her back. And she got this beatific, oh my god, I've never heard of this word, beatific look on her face and left. Later, she is walking around in the hall naked looking for me. I hide under a nurse until a nurse takes her back to her room. We hear screaming from her room. We all think it's naked lady, mad she's being made to get dressed. But I wandered over because I felt slightly responsible. I didn't get there in time to intervene, but I saw some of it. Naked lady had beaten the nurse to the ground and was biting a giant chunk, think golf ball size, of flesh from her back.
Like Mike Tyson of the psych ward.
Oh, and some nasty stuff in there. There needs to be a bite almost.
Right? Like, newspaper to, like, she went from horny to Hannibal in 10 minutes. Like, how do you...
I mean, the food's bad, but like...
She was part mantis.
What?
She was part praying mantis.
Oh yeah, they do that actually. Praying mantis, after they have the female rips the head off of the mate. Males die. Actually, off topic, really quick, but it's a funny joke about the bees. So after a male bee, I guess, you know, they die. So their life can be summed up in 3 words: honey, nut, Cheerios.
Okay, I will admit I've seen that before. I've seen
I'm
that.
showing that to everyone at work tomorrow.
is so funny.
But, ooh, can you imagine that guy had to hit? Like, she was so mad. Like, because he's like, oh, ask me later. And she's like, oh, I'm getting it. Like, no. Oh, my God. And again, I can't even, like, relate to this in any sense. Like, these stories today are insane.
My grandma was a nurse
No.
for like 30 years, and I'm sitting here like just dumbfounded by these. I've heard some crazy stuff, but
Right? They're like barely relatable. I haven't had, surprisingly, anyone trying to like have sex with me when I was in the ward, but I was in 4 months postpartum, as everyone knows, so I was very open about I just had a baby, I have a husband, blah, 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 blah. But some people in there would just fall in love within like a week, and I'm like,
Oh yeah. There was a whole wedding when I was there. The first time.
do tell.
There was a whole wedding,
Please
and they
tell.
like shared each other's sour keys. It's like it was the key to their heart. They were sharing like sour keys. Romantic. I couldn't even sit still long enough to watch the movie, but they would like romantically, cuddle up and eat these sour keys. And oh my goodness, they're gonna know. They're gonna watch this and be like, "Don't come for me, okay? It was funny. It was cute."
did he propose with a ring pop?
I wish.
That would have been perfect.
I wish.
But like,
Yeah.
I've read a lot of stories about love in the psych ward, and I'm like, that's the
There's a lot of
last.
like there's also a lot of like movies depicting it too.
Yes, and I like the first time I was there for 5 weeks, so I saw a lot of shit. But yeah, that's one thing. People fall in love and they have, and you just wonder also, like, because everyone shares a room, and I don't know about like the state or every psych ward, but the one I was in, it was male and female. Obviously, rooms were female, female, male, male, So I'm gonna actually tell my my story of when I chipped my tooth in the psych ward on this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna tell it, and it doesn't really correlate, but I'll let you know how I got to that point. So I was always wondering, like, men, obviously they have to, right, at some point. Where would they do it is probably the shower. And I think about it now because on New Year's Eve, I was in the psych ward. And I don't know about your psych wards, but the showers have a button. You have to press every 30 seconds, 15, 30 seconds. But I learned, for being there for a long time, that you have to press it, you have to let it go 3 times before the water's hot. Before that, it's cold. So I was in process of doing that, and I bent over, because I didn't want to get in, it was cold. So I bent over and I push it, but then as I do that, I fall face first. My face on the floor of the shower. And my arm was hurting. I didn't even realize my tooth was chipped. I'm probably going to put a picture here so you can see it. So I pulled the emergency plug. If nurse comes in, she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I fell." And then as I'm talking, I'm like, is my I can't talk. Is my teeth chipped? And then I do this, and she's like, "Oh yeah." And I'm like, no.
No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Like, I fell face first, chipped my tooth. That's how I spent my New Year's Eve. I think it was 2023, going into 2024, with a chipped tooth in the psych ward, crying. Yeah, good time. But then I think about it afterwards, after reading all these stories, and I'm like, my face was on that floor.
Oh man.
Like,
We're just gonna have to have faith in the cleaners.
please. I just wanted to, like, drink sanitizer at this point and rub it on my face. Like I said, didn't correlate, but I had to tell the story because people are horny in the psych ward. They're horny. It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Well,
quick.
thanks to the American healthcare system, they only hold us for like 3 days to 14, and then they boot us out. So that's even with healthcare coverage. Unless
Really?
you like find long-term stuff, you have to like go to court for. Yeah.
That is so messed up. What if someone needs more, like, what if someone is gonna harm themselves and they're like, oh, your time's up.
There was an older man that I was in the hospital with, and he would walk out into the parking lot, be there for 30 minutes, and come back in and tell them he was again, so they would readmit him.
Okay, I guess so. I guess there's a way around
Yeah, there's
it.
loopholes, but yeah.
Still, it's like, I'm gonna harm myself, but like, they're like, well, you've been here for 14 days, so he has to like threaten again to go back in to get help.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that's crazy. Absolutely. But our healthcare, as much as it's free, it still sucks because, yes, like I don't have to pay. All we have to pay is like parking tickets for like when your visitors come visit you. But most of the time our wards are full. There's no place for anyone, and they're like trying to get you out anyway because there's no space. There's no, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know, Tori, you went to a different hospital because we discussed this, but like the one that I was in, like constantly full. And this really made me mad, but I also understand, but they kept homeless people in there for 18 months, 2 years, because they weren't allowed to release them without a home. So they would look at someone like me who has a husband, a supportive husband, a supportive parents, a house, and they're like, you need to leave because you have a place to go. And I'm like, but I'm not good here. Like, it's not fair. It's not because I have it all that you can just kick me out because I have a place. Yes, I do have a place to go, but I'm not well mentally. And it kind of wasn't fair, but I do understand they can't kick people out to the street. But it was also not fair for people who were having crisis. Like, they don't realize that money or house or none of that matters when you're in a crisis, right? So
None.
It wasn't fair to me because I had it all that they were trying to push me out the door. Yeah, that was kind of messed up. Like, we know a lot of celebrities that committed and they had it all.
Yeah.
You can't base it off of that, but unfortunately that's how it was. Both healthcare,
Yeah.
US, Canada, both.
Both.
We need like a psychiatric hospital that
Yes.
like these people that because a lot of homeless people do have psychiatric issues. I mean mental health or other circumstances has led them to the streets to use drugs potentially. Most cases, yeah. And then they're going into constant psychosis, and your brain goes through that kind of physiological storm for so long. You're gonna have a lot to unwire and like.
Yep.
Yeah. So having a hospital dedicated to that, so you don't have like long-term beds, and then it gives your short-term beds, like, short-term would be like a few months or something, yeah, so that nobody has to feel pressured out.
Yes, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I also want to say it for people in the back, drug addiction is mental health. It is an illness. No one wakes up and says, you know what, I want to do meth today. No, people do it to escape trauma. And some people will blame them. Oh, well, they chose to. No, they didn't. They didn't. So I always like to put stuff out there like that because that's one thing I'm very passionate about is it is mental health issue. It is a big issue. And you're right, a lot of the homeless people unfortunately, it started with drugs, but which comes from trauma.
And mental health problems, and and financial stress. Like a lot of people's mental health condition comes from a lack of resources.
Yep. Here, yep. And I'm sure even Kaylee in the state can relate. Like, it's the same. We're just a little hat on top of the U.S. here. Like, it's North America in general. Like, we're all under
whole
financial.
globe, it feels
Yes,
like.
right. It does.
It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
have some jokes about it later, but right now we can't.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
Soon.
Too soon. All right, I'll move to the next story. This one says, did psych rounds as part of my nurse training. The story I'm going to talk about is about, I can't read. I'm going to talk is about my friend's experience when she had psych rotations a month before mine. Apparently, she had a patient who was attracted to the sun, the star of our system. Literally, she would lie on the floor, spread her legs, and get railed by the sun's rays.
All right, we want to find her too. We want to find her too.
We need to find Potato Girl and
Sun Rays.
Ray Girl. Oh my god. I'm like, can you imagine just like walking in and that there's, the sun coming in and the girl's like, I don't, was she moaning? Were you moaning? If you were, like, I need details.
Yeah, like, how does she know she was getting railed by the sun rays? Like, obviously it was that sounds pretty dramatic.
That is, like, what did she feel? Kaylee's dying.
I'm just picturing it in my head. And it's just like,
I know. Like, was she in a star position? Haha, I made a pun.
There's going to be a subreddit for this because there's that witchy culture that bathes their butts in moons, so we have to do some digging.
I really hope that she's not feeling shame about this story and that she's like sharing it proudly.
Right? That's like the there's some people who were on a photosynthesis diet. You heard about that?
Yes.
Where they would sit in the sun instead of eating because that's the only nutrient they need, but I guess she didn't need, well, she needed the vitamin D, but like from literal, that's what the sun gives you, is vitamin D. You don't need the real D.
Wow, she took that saying very literally.
Oh my goodness.
Talk about a sun-kissed glow. Oh my god, homegirl got sun-blasted.
Yeah, boy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. But can you imagine going out with her, like, I don't know, let's go to Tim Horton, Dunkin' Donuts, and then, like, the sun's out and she's just, like, is she moaning the whole time we're out? Like,
I was just thinking about my river float this weekend, and if I had passed somebody.
in the tubes. Oh my god. And again, like, I can't relate to any of the stories today because I'm like trying to think of I got you guys the best so far. Like,
this better not happen to me again because now I have some real good ideas. And like, I'll probably, like, I don't.
She said, you thought you knew psychosis.
she's like, you thought you knew what the psychosis really was, but did you got railed by the sun? Psychosis. Oh my god. I freaking
in psychosis. If she was making love to the sun, she was 1,000% in another dimension in psychosis.
100%. What does it feel like?
It's like, okay, but I was telling everybody I was sober, okay? Like, I met crackheads and I met meth heads and I was freaking them out. But I was sober because, and I literally was. Okay, I was hitting my, like, dab pen every once in a while or something, but, like,
yeah,
nothing too crazy.
Because for you, it was a medical that put you in a psychosis. Medication, like not street.
Yeah. I was misdiagnosed ADHD and put on Vyvanse, and literally the highest I went on Vyvanse is 40 milligrams. I wasn't even at the highest dose.
Vyvanse is what put me in the psych ward for the last time, and when I attempted.
Really? So, luckily, like mine was pretty dangerous, like in terms of like situations I put myself in, but I never tried to end my life. I thought I was invincible. Like I thought I was never going to die.
But manic, you feel like you're God.
Yes, and it was a very spiritual experience. And I have whole theories on that, but that's like
I've had that, but with the influence of shrooms. When I was on shrooms, woo! That was crazy. I got some good ones and some bad ones. So I guess, would you consider that like a psychosis induced if you're doing like shrooms or stuff like that?
I mean,
Well, considering it's only temporary.
Right.
Yeah, and there's lots of studies like about like microdosing shrooms coming out and how it helps with like trauma.
Yeah, and
stuff.
there's ketamine treatments now and everything.
Yeah, have ketamine.
I was supposed to do the ketamine treatment after my first admission, and I went to the clinic, but it's not covered here.
No.
And I was willing to pay for it because I was like, I just want to feel
Expensive.
better. But I was willing to pay. But because I've been on so many medication changes, because when you're in the psych ward,
Yeah.
they're up your dose, down your dose, try this, try that, try this, this. And they're like, you were on too many medication changes lately, so they refused me. And I was like, but I'll pay you.
Shut up and take my money.
They're like, no. And I'm like, so I gave up on that because I'm still seeing a psychiatrist and I'm still adjusting. I'm getting off of one right now. So it's like, there's never a time that I'll be able to do it. So I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. But it does, there is a lot of studies on like ketamine or any psychedelic really, but I would never do LSD. No way. That one freaks me out.
It gets stored in your spine.
I've never heard.
So yeah, if you do acid and you get a spinal tap,
That's the only way they can drug test.
that's the only way they can drug test it. They can it gets stored in your spinal fluid.
I had no idea. I've also heard they can't really test you for shrooms, or it doesn't stay long in your. They can't.
Nope, it doesn't pop up.
It doesn't pop up. So, but I mean, you kind of know when someone's on a psychedelic. I mean,
Yeah, when they've taken.
Well, I mean,
especially
if you're
like, your
witnessing
pupils
it.
are really dilated typically.
yeah, because there's one that my last trip, I almost went to the ER because I had a bad trip. I was on my couch like this, and I was like, for an hour, I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I had someone look up like drugs that would reverse shrooms, and to my surprise, it was all my bedtime meds: trazodone, Seroquel, and Ativan. And I was like, bring me my bedtime. It was 10 anyway, so it's like, bring me my bedtime med. I took them. 30 minutes later, gone. I was like, didn't have to go to the hospital because I was like, I'm not spending the whole night like this. Like, this is not happening.
No, imagine.
No, not at all. So I'll pull up we're at the fourth story already. All right, so the fourth one has kind of like a sweet story and then a lot of shit to unpack. So it starts with most amazing. For some reason, a piano was in the psych ward. A patient who never spoke started playing. She knew every piece by heart. The entire ward of psychotics, manics, and even staff went and sat in that room. Not a word was spoken for a good half hour. Craziest? Family members choking a patient because his sister gave another patient a guy who thought he was Jesus convincing the entire ward to meet on the balcony to discuss ways of breaking out. A guy would run away every day, steal a car, and drive back to the psych ward, people speaking in tongues, scary.
I want to know if it was the same car every day.
Is it the same? Again,
What did they do with the car?
like, you escape the psych ward, because that's the one that stuck to me out of all the ones that I read. You leave the psych ward, steal a car, but then you come back?
He was a follower of Jesus.
Maybe it's like, I need to go see Jesus again.
Maybe he convinced them that everybody needed their own car to escape the psych ward, so he went stealing cars every day to bring back to the people for a major escape.
Maybe he was just getting cars to be like, yes, we're gonna get everyone out. Thank you, Jesus. And also, like, the patient punching, like, I think it was a brother. Yeah, it was his sister. So the brother punched another patient because his sister gave a blow. First of all, sister, why did you tell your brother?
Why is it an issue for the brother?
Also, why? Like, it's not like, I'm assuming,
like,
I hope she was an adult. Like, I tried to steer away from teens and kids stories.
Goodness.
I try to stay with adult stories, so I'm hoping that this, adult. Otherwise, I could understand. But if she's an adult, like, why punch the guy? But
yeah, you'll just end up right beside her again, like in the next room, like
exactly. So like, there's just a lot to unpack in this one. Like, he just gave like a really beautiful like piano scene that put everyone in awe, and then was just like bang, 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 and like,
yeah.
Oh my God, maybe we should introduce the son to that girl so she doesn't give other guys.
I kind of relate to the one about Jesus, though.
Yeah?
Because, yeah, I mean, like, I believe in Jesus, but, or I believe in a higher being, I think that, yeah, anyways, but it went to a whole other level when I was in psychosis. Like, I was, like, preaching on the streets.
While singing Eminem?
Eminem's new album, I shared it on Facebook, his newest album, and I shared a song on Facebook, and I was like, if you can hear it, say amen.
That is so hilarious. Oh my God. So you were preaching and being Slim Shady at the same time.
Yeah, and my brother, when I was like well again, he was like, Tori, he's like, whatever you do, just like never refer to yourself as baby Jesus again. I was like,
you said you referred to...
I compared myself to baby Jesus. And my brother called me out for my blasphemy.
Oh my God. That is hilarious. Oh my God. And I'm sorry, I'm sick.
That's okay.
I had a guy, I don't think he believed in Jesus, but he had schizoaffective disorder.
Okay.
Kind of like, I don't even know how to explain that disorder, but you're very delusional. He was claiming to being the Messiah all the time. Like, he's like, I'm the Messiah, and I'm like, oh yeah, yep. You just have to go with them. Like, you can't go against them. And at one point, he looked at me, and he was like, there's a witch in here. And I'm like, really? He's like, oh yeah, and I know who she is. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then my says, oh, I used to do witchcraft like 5 years ago. And then I think, like, why did I just say this?
Oh, no.
Just like, oh yeah, I used to do witchcraft. And then he looks at me like, And like, he's gonna kill me in my sleep. He's gonna kill. Like, why did I say this? Why did I just tell this man? And he was a very aggressive guy. Like, he was refusing his meds, and they had to like give him a shot of Abilify in his thighs because he was like, I'm not taking nothing. So he was calm, but still not quite there, because I remember one morning he was not happy with his breakfast, and I used to store in my room like little cereal boxes just in case I got hungry. So I was like hoarding the little cereal box, and then he was so mad at the plate he had in front of him. I don't know why. He's like, if I don't get this or this or this cereal, I'm gonna kill everyone in this room. And I'm like, bro, calm down. Let me go to my room. I got
your cereal.
I got you. I got cereal. And then he was like, thank you. And then another woman's like, you're going to end up back in CNC, which I talk a lot about, one-on-one CNC. If you don't stop talking like that, she's like, but I will. Like, I want this or this cereal. And I was like, thank God I had, one of the two.
Yeah.
But anyway, he thought he was the Messiah and was talking about the 5G towers, how they can read our minds. And I was like, yeah. And then just, you gotta go with it. So it's just like, oh, well, if the government's listening to you, then just think of something funny and, they'll laugh.
You do gotta go with it. You're right. Yeah.
You can't go against it, because then they'll think you're against them. Which, again, my told him I did witchcraft. I don't know why I thought that was a perfect time to tell him that. But that just like came out. And he was in the room next to mine alone. There's not a lot of alone room, but he had to be alone. And I was like, he's gonna kill me in my sleep. That's it. Oh, the next story I'm gonna share is like 2 parts. I'm gonna share the screen twice, because it's like a response to the first one. So, says, I met a schizo, I'm assuming schizophrenic, at a mental hospital, and he asked me, bro, you gotta smoke? And I'm like, what do you mean? You can't bring smokes in here. And he says, just give me one, dog. And then I just give him an imaginary smoke, and he puts it in his mouth. Then I use my imaginary lighter to light it. LMAO. Okay, this is the first part. Second part, someone responded with, I once lit a paper cig for a patient using a pulse ox.
I've seen drunk people light imaginary cigarettes, so I believe this one.
You have? I wish that would work with me. Give me an imaginary one and pretend, like, wouldn't that be healthier?
Right?
Yep.
Like, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that I wish I was schizophrenic, because I really have a lot of empathy for them. But
100%. Yeah.
But to have the ability to smoke an imaginary cigarette instead of smoking an actual cigarette and having the satisfaction.
But
I'm
then
a
when
little
they
jelly.
split and they come back and they realize the cigarette's not there.
Right? When, like, if you give them meds, they're like, wait, and then they get the nicotine craving coming back because you haven't had the actual that must be crazy. I never thought about that. But also the pulse ox, like, here you go. Put your cigarette for you.
I actually snuck my vape into the psych ward, and I played the part as if I was fiending, so I asked for one of those nicotine flutes.
Yep.
The little nicotine whistle things that they give you, inhalers.
Mm-hmm.
I called it my flute, but so I would walk around. I would do laps around the nurse's station with that in my mouth, and then I would like stop at my bathroom because I had a private one, and go in there and do my thing.
Yep. You're not the only one. Some people snuck in vape pens, but that little flute that you're talking about, like the nicotine replacement, I learned after seeing what was she, a respiratory therapist. She was talking because I was there for like potential asthma, and obviously she's like, try to stop smoking, blah blah blah. And then I was like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not ready. But she showed me that, and I was like, oh yeah, I use that, but it makes me choke. Like it's really harsh on the throat. And she's like, you're not supposed to inhale. And I was like, then what you're supposed to do? You're just supposed to. That's all you're not supposed to like.
I know.
I didn't.
Yeah.
The nurses there didn't know. They were telling us to inhale it, and all of us were like choking constantly. But we're like, oh well, it gives us nicotine. But the nurses at my hospital didn't know, so they told us to inhale it.
We have patches and lozenges. I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm going straight to Google after this.
Oh yeah, I'll show you what I mean. It just has like a little cartridge, and it feels like you can literally feels like you're smoking without the smoke. It's so hard to explain, but they worked well because we were allowed to go for a smoke. I'm not sure about your hospital or yours, but we were allowed to between certain times to go out for smokes. But you had to be back within 20 minutes. But then there's other times we weren't allowed at all to go out, after 8 or whatever. So that was like the perfect little. But yeah, all of us were inhaling it. And you're not supposed to. And I'm like, that's why it was really hard on my throat. Oh my God. But you knew that, Tori?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Because there was a couple of times that I was in the hospital, like for other medical reasons, but it was like COVID time. So the floors would be closed. You wouldn't be allowed on or off them. So, I asked for one at that point.
Okay.
But I lost my privileges. I wasn't even allowed to go out and smoke because I was a runner.
Why are you running?
You trying to climb the hospital?
Yeah, they were just scared that I would get out of there and never come back. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if you're a runner, they're not going to let you out for passes. They're not going to let you out for smokes or walks or
nothing.
Nothing.
I had to earn them. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Thankfully, I had a pretty good psychiatrist at first, and he put me on the main floor. It's like, yeah, you can go smoke, and I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't have any on me, so like I left CNC now on the main floor for the first time, and I just go to anyone, and I'm like, who has a smoke? And then this man was like, I do. I'm like, can I bum a smoke? I'm like, I need one. Because my husband was at home and whatever, and I was like, I just want one now. Like, I'll give you like 10 more for that one. So I don't even care what it is. Like, I just want one. I'll eat it. But oh my God, that one smoke after I got out of CNC was like, oh. And then I was like, I cannot lose this privilege. I'm doing everything in my power to be able to still go for smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so the last thing I want to share is just a meme. So it says, patients be like, F you, I'll stay up all night. You can't stop me, nurses. Ativan, Haldol, Benadryl. So, I don't know if you guys know, but this is called booty juice. Yeah, you knew? Okay.
I didn't know.
Okay, well, I learned it from Reddit. God knows, probably true. But the mix of the three is like an injection. So when someone is like hypermanic or very psychotic or something, they will jab you with this, and then you're like out. But I don't know about your hospital, but like mine gave Ativan to anyone, anytime anyone asked for it. Like if you were a little bit stressed, like, can I have an Ativan? Like, yeah, here you go. Everyone. The Oprah, like, you get one, you get one, you get everyone was allowed to have Ativan. One night I
really, zombie apocalypse.
Right? But like I'm so used to it now that like it doesn't do anything to me.
Yeah.
But one night I couldn't sleep because I don't know, roommates snoring, I'm such a fussy sleeper, and if the roommate's snoring or sound or I don't have my white noise machine, I can't sleep. So I woke up and I was like, I can't sleep and it's driving me crazy. Help me, please. And one of the nurses was like, have you had Haldol? And I'm like, no, never heard of it. He's like, okay, I'll give you that. It'll make you stop thinking. And I'm like, okay, huh, yeah. It definitely does make you stop thinking. I don't even remember falling asleep. Like, I don't really remember. What?
That sounds kind of relaxing. I need that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a Haldol vacation.
You have no idea. And it works so well that they don't even, like, it's not even something you can get prescribed. It's only for hospital use. You can't, your doctor can't prescribe Haldol to you. It's only hospital. And let me tell you, it was the best sleep of my life. I will never have that again. Never. Oh.
She said the one that got away.
Oh my God. Like, I wish I could, have it. Same thing for like laughing gas, I wish I could have that experience again. That was from an ambulance, but like, I wish I could just be like,
Because drugs are bad, okay? It's a bad thing to do drugs, so don't be bad.
Have some Haldol on hand if I'm like, I can't sleep. But you, Kaylee, you would love it. Like, nothing can wake you up from that. Like, you don't remember falling asleep. You're just
a horse
gone.
tranquilizer.
Yeah, ketamine technically is horse tranquilizer.
Yes, it is.
But Haldol, it was like, and I tried to get it again at one point, and it, again, depends on who's the nurses, and they're like, we don't give that for sleep. And I was like, well, I got it once for sleep, please give me. And they refused, and I was like, whatever. I'll just wait for that specific nurse to give it to me again. They're like, we don't give that for sleep. Well, it works. I can tell you that much. Haldol's awesome. Oh my God. All right, so last episode I completely forgot to do this, but I wanted to, I guess, ask each and every one of you. I guess I'll start with Tori. What was your favorite story?
Oh, okay, well, I can't pick one out of this one, but I loved Potato Girl and Sunray Girl.
Yeah.
Like, and I still really want to be their friend, so.
Right? If you find this video somehow, comment and
yeah, I think I will. I think that I'll like never forget them, and it's changed my life forever. So.
Life is forever changed.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What about you, Kaylee?
Real by Sunshine was definitely my favorite, and I'm pretty sure I met Jesus, so.
Yeah. These are pretty good. It was really hard for me to pick, but I don't know why. My favorite is the Sunray Girl. I just want to experience what she did. I want to be railed by the sun. Like, I just want to know. I need to know more. We need to find her. Help us find her. Is she, at least narrow it down to a country.
Is it more fulfilling than men?
Yeah.
Like, I just think I'm never gonna look at the sun the same again, and I bet she doesn't either. Like,
no.
How do you look at the sun today?
You won't look
like,
at that sun like that again.
No, and you're gonna.
Could you imagine if the poor girl's triggered by the sun and she can't even go outside because it? Like,
She
what
just
if it went
gets
the opposite
orgasm.
way and she? But what if she like? What if she feels like traumatized by the sun? Yeah.
Who knows? Like, ooh, I hope it was just like a psychotic moment, and then she doesn't have a permanent
Definitely.
condition that she thinks that she wants to be railed by the sun, literally. But if so, like, she can't go outside. That's crazy. Whew.
Blackout curtains on all the windows.
Blackout curtains everywhere. Oh my Lord. Well, I wanted to thank you, Kaylee, for joining, and Tori.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Yes, it was a lot. It was really fun. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you have a funny story, leave it in the comment. If you were in one of the story that I read, please leave them in the comment. If you want to be part of my, like, with me in a podcast, let me know. And I'll see you on the 6th episode. I think this is the 5th one. Wow, I'm already on the 6th episode. So we'll see you then. Bye.